Today we're in the raised bed garden and we're going to show you how to cook without electricity. So today we're going to be using the All-American Sun Oven, and we'll show you how easy it is to set it up and to cook with it. So I'm just going to put it down here, and you can carry it around just like you're carrying a little suitcase. This just snaps and opens up. So that's all there is to that. So all you have to do is align your oven to where that little spot of sunlight in there is going to be centered in that. So on the back you have this little stand. You can make the back higher, elevate it. So we're just going to put it on the first one, it looks like. And if you look down through here now, the circle are lined up. Now we'll get the racks and show you what's next. Your sun oven should come with a rack like this, which is pretty important because the more you elevate it on the back, if you just try to sit your pot on there, eventually it's going to be tipping up and it could be spilling something out. So if you put the rack in there, it'll always hold it nice and flat. So, and we just opened it up just a couple minutes. It's already at 150 degrees in there. So, and you just stick it on these. That black stuff is already hot.
Okay, now that we have our sun oven all ready to go, it's time to get our meat ready, and we are doing an almost 3-pound pot roast today. And first thing we're going to go ahead and do is cut up some of our onions, and we're going to put our onions down first into the pan and then put our meat on top of our onions. So we'll go ahead and get these sliced up and be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and make just some thick slices for the meat to lay on top of. So when we ordered our sun oven, we went ahead and used the link that Offgrid and Stacy offers. And by using that link, we were able to get a discount on our sun oven and also a discount on the 2 pans they have. They're stacking pans that you can use in the sun oven, and it has a lid, glass lid. And there's also a dehydrator kit that comes with it, so you can dehydrate in your sun oven also. And then as well, there is a small cookbook that comes with it that Stacy's put together, different recipes you can make in your sun oven. And also, when you buy the sun oven, you don't have to buy these pans to use it. You can, in the sun oven, you can cook with cast iron or any type of like granite ware can be used in your sun oven. But you don't want to use Teflon for sure. And shiny metal, you want to stay away from shiny metal. But so let's go ahead and I'll show you. And also another thing I want to tell you is, if you wanted, you could cook like your meal in here, and then on top, a lot of people will use this for like their dessert. Like they might make like cook a brownie or a cake. And you can do that all at the same time in your sun oven, because using a sun oven, your food will never burn. So it's a great option. Like you can leave it in all day long, and you don't ever have to worry about watching it because it's never going to burn. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put my onions. Okay, so I'm just simply going to put my onions in down at the bottom. And I am going to kind of break them up a little bit. Okay. I think that is more than enough. And cooking with the sun oven, it does produce a lot of juice. So really, you don't usually have to add very much water, but I am going to go ahead today and add like roughly like a half a cup of water into our pan. I'm going to put that in the bottom now. So here is our rump roast that we are using, and it's almost a 3-pound roast. I'm going to go ahead and add some of our seasonings that we have to put on top of it. In here I simply just have dried onions and then also some garlic powder. And I'm going to sprinkle that on top. Okay, whoops, a little bit more left. And then in this one we have parsley, paprika, and then some red pepper flakes, and then we also have some onion powder. And also we are going to be using our Redmond's real salt. This is wonderful salt. It's the same kind of salt we use. And then also some black pepper we are going to put on. It's kind of windy out here, so maybe I'll put some on my hand. Okay. Okay. And now we are just going to go ahead and put our lid on it. So now we'll just take it and... Now this part you do want to go ahead, you should have oven mitts on because it is hot in there already. It's almost at 200 degrees now in there. So that's how quickly the sun oven heats up. So now I'm going to see if I can do it without oven mitts. I'll burn myself. And just take it and place it in there. Oh gosh, you can feel the heat. On your rack. And we will close it up. And then there's two little tabs here. You want to go ahead and make sure you... And then that's all there is to it. We were at the conference in Hannibal, Missouri. And we bought a sun oven cookbook. And it has over 350 different recipes that you can do inside your sun oven. By simply just cooking outside. There's over 350 recipes that you can try using your sun oven. So that is something to be looking for as well. We didn't have any potatoes and carrots to add to our roast, but that's the good thing about canning and having your own vegetables and your own food is that we went to our pantry and we are going to, about a half an hour before it's done, we're going to put our carrots and our green beans. We're going to just go probably drain them a little bit, stick them in with the meat, and then our potatoes we're going to put in this pan on top, or stuck on top of the other pan. And then that way we're going to have, probably end up making mashed potatoes, and then we'll have our carrots and our green beans in with our meat. And then that will be our meal from the garden.
So occasionally you will just come outside and have to check on that little dot in there to make sure that it's centered. That way you're getting the maximum performance out of the sun oven. So, you know, every hour or two, you can just come out and check it, and you might just have to turn it a little bit. That way it'll keep cooking. And this should get up to, we'll watch it and see, but it should get up to well over 350 degrees. So as you can see, it's an overcast day, a lot of clouds, but that's the beauty of the sun oven is it doesn't matter. You can cook with it in the wintertime. As long as there's a shadow, if there's enough sun for you to have a shadow, you have enough sun to cook with. So the sun oven is a good option to have. It's nice to have just as a alternative to cook with, but if there were a grid down situation or your electricity was out for any reason, you can always use the sun oven to cook with and no electricity required. So it's awesome prep to have. Usually animals will not bother it. For one, the heat that's coming off of it, they're not going to want to mess with it, and for two, it doesn't put off smells. So I mean, sure, animal has a heightened sense of smell more than us, so they probably can smell it, but generally your pets aren't going to mess with it. We just put it inside our fenced garden today just because that's where we wanted to keep the turkeys away from us. Now if you don't have canned veggies, that's okay, it doesn't matter. You could put out of a can in there if you wanted, but the best case scenario would have been if our garden already had some fresh carrots and fresh green beans and fresh potatoes to use, but we're just not at that time of year yet, so we're going to use some that we had already canned last year or the year before. Came out here to check on the sun oven. Looks like it's about almost 325 right now. I did tilt it around a little bit, but looking good. Looks like it's been about a little over 2 hours so far. All right, so it says beef is done at 160. We're past 180. It's been 4 hours. Temperature was about at 300. So it's done. Now we're going to go ahead and add the veggies to it and put the potatoes in. And our roast was still partly frozen. And by the way, this is a grass-fed beef from Sullivan Farms here in Missouri that we usually buy a half a beef every year from them.
Okay, so we are back now and our meat is done. So we're going to go ahead and our potatoes we're going to put in the second pan. And these are all of our home canned items. And then we're going to, I don't know if I'm going to use all the broth, not the broth, but all the juice out of the potatoes or not. So we'll see. Because we are going to make mashed potatoes, so we'll be draining them. I will get all the salt. I did put some salt in with our potatoes and we canned them. I'm trying to get that out. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and probably use all the liquid. Make sure anytime you open up this door, you open away from your face because it does blow out a lot of hot air. Just like you're opening up an oven. Oops. Okay. Now our green beans. And then I'll go get our potatoes. Then that's it. And close back up. Okay. Now we're just gonna let it go just long enough to warm up the potatoes and the carrots and green beans.
All right, it's been about an hour and the sun's finally moved on from our garden, so we're gonna go ahead and take this stuff out and then get the potatoes mashed and get ready to eat. All right, we brought everything inside now, and to continue on with our no electric, we're going to go ahead and make the mashed potatoes with the masher.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to put my potatoes without sloshing them everywhere. I did leave some of the water in there because we had it seasoned some with potatoes. So we're going to use some of that to mash with them, as well as some milk. And we had some butter that was softened setting out. So go ahead and add that. And then before I add any milk, I'm going to go ahead and start this and see how... I might not have to add any milk. We'll have to see. It looks like I still have a lot of liquid in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get these mashed up and we'll be right back. Okay, I think we've got them mixed up good now. I could have maybe had a little bit less extra liquid in there, but that's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get our meat and our carrots and our green beans out. And so there's our carrots with our green beans. And then here is the meat, you can see. There you go, guys. There's our dinner that we made in our sun oven out in our garden. We have our grass-fed beef from a local farmer, and then our home canned green beans and carrots, and then our home canned potatoes that we made into the mashed potatoes, and then lettuce from our garden with our homemade spicy sauerkraut. Everything looks good, and I can't wait to eat it. And if you haven't got a sun oven, you need to go ahead and get one. And we'll have information down below of where you can get one and have the discount like we got with the extra stuff that comes along with it. Thank you guys for watching, and we hope you have a great day. And don't forget to like this video and comment. Give us a comment and let us know if you have a sun oven or if you plan on getting one.